The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
Rabbi Ephraim Wachsman had one of his Rabbi was the Heilige Tzaddik Rabbi Ephraim Wachsman. He lived in Yerushalayim. One of his Einiklach, the Tzveben Mishpacha, the Einiklach of Rabbi Ephraim Wachsman, an old woman came from Europe to visit, and said she knows that your Einiklach of Rabbi Ephraim Wachsman, will you please take me to his cave? It's better than Harazaysen. So they took her to the cave, and why are you so interested in going to Rabbi Ephraim Wachsman's cave? I'll tell you a story. Said Rabbi Ephraim Wachsman was once sitting and learning, and somebody came in and wanted to leave a pekadon of money, and he should watch it. Usually he would take the envelope, and he had someone entrusted him with money, and he would put it in a drawer, and he was so involved in his learning, he put it inside a safe, and he closed the safe, and he put it away. And then he couldn't find it. He says, and there was a woman who worked, there was a Meshorsis maid, and there was no one else in the room. There's no one else who could have taken it, it could only be her. He couldn't. How could I possibly accuse Yiddishif? He couldn't do it. So he decided that rather than accuse her, he's going to pay for it himself. He didn't have the money. The person came back to the pekadon. He asked, "Could you just give me a few more days?" And he borrows a huge sum of money. He borrowed the money. He spent years and years. He went paying it back. One day before Pesach, he was cleaning out his svarim, and he found the money. So he went and he called this maid. It was years later, and he called her, and he burst into tears. "I have to ask you, Mechila." Rebbe asked him, "Yeah, because I thought I had a machshava in my mind about you, and now I realize that it wasn't so. Please be moichem." Says Rebbe, "Moichem." He says, "Well, you went and paid out of your own money, so not to cause me shame. There's no, you have to be moichem." He says, "Rebbe, I'll tell you what. You know what? I'm ready to be moichem you with one condition: that I'm an old woman, I have no children. You promise me a child, I'll be moichem." He says, "Yes, I promise you a child." And she had a daughter, and the woman says, "And I'm that daughter. I was born from that bracha, so that's why I came to Yisrael to visit the cave of Rabbi Ephraim Wachsman." The idea, the hergish, to feel a person, to feel that I thought bad about somebody else, that comes from being margish, from realizing, not from being good, from being truthful, from realizing the emes. Because I'll tell us, Noach lo'ila Adam, before he's mavaza somebody else berabim. The Gemara tells a story of Mar Ukva. Mar Ukva used to give 4 zuz every day to an ani, and the ani never saw what it was. And one day the ani wanted to see, so he hid. He was waiting in ambush, and Mar Ukva came by. He was late for the besmedj with his wife, and he jumped up and he saw them, and Mar Ukva started running, and he and his wife ran in. They sat themselves into an oven. They were hiding till the ani went by. The Gemara says you learn out from Tamar, that one should be prepared to throw himself into a kivshin or eish, into a fire, rather than to be mavaza somebody else. And everybody asked the kasha. That's what Rabbi Levi says the word. Says, what do you mean? How can you compare? The ani was Michael. The ani says, I want to see who it is. The ani, this is not the same as by Tomer, the question being mavaza Yehuda. The ani wants to see. Why do I have to throw myself in a kivshin or eish? Zokter doesn't say chayiv limsor. It says noyach loyla adam. It should be easier for a person. It should be less painful to throw myself into a kivshan or eish and to see somebody else's busha. The fact that he's moichel doesn't change. I'm seeing him in a low matzav. That should hurt me so much. It should be noyach. It should be easier for me to sit in a kivshan or eish.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org